What's up guys? In this video I wanted to talk about a recent project I was on called House on the Hill. This was a short film that my friends Ryan and Shane wanted me to DP, and of course, due to lack of budget and time, I ended up DPing it, gaffing it, and editing it. This was a super fun project for a short film competition for a local brewery for people of all skill levels to enter their horror films. So this film is about a girl who brings her boyfriend over. She tells him not to go in the basement. He's like, why wouldn't I go in the basement? I'm gonna do it anyways. Goes in the basement, finds a bunch of creepy hair, teeth, murder tools. There's tapes in the basement that has different years on it that he finds, and it's like, what's this tape? Why does it say 1988 and she still looks the same as she does today in 2023? She finds out he went down there, kills him, and then eats him. Very interesting plot. If you haven't checked that out, go check it out now and then come back to this video so you know what I'm talking about. This was a super fun project to work on, and I even rented some Sure anamorphic lenses. I picked up both the 35 and the 50 millimeters, and these were awesome lenses to use. I've always wanted to use anamorphic lenses, and I felt like this was kind of a good excuse to use them. I didn't want it to feel like it was set in our world, considering it was kind of like a supernatural sci-fi horror type film. So I went with the anamorphic lenses to kind of feel like the house, which plays a big role in this film, to feel like it's closing in on you. In pre-production, we were toying around the idea of shooting 4x3 on spherical lenses to give that same sense of like claustrophobia, but instead we went the opposite route and shot super wide to give that same sense and showing more of the house in the process, which really worked out for us because we had one take which really needed to show everything in the living room, all the way to the left side where we see the door and all the way to the right side where we see the stairs, and we needed to see everything in between in that shot. So using them in that sense and the way that the anamorphic lenses look, I thought was awesome, and I really liked working with them. But the one downside is if you're not using diopters, then it's really hard to get close focus, which we had a couple shots of. So for those shots, I used the IRIX 150 millimeters T.3 macro, which is a lot to say. So that being said, I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about the process of making this short film with zero budget and what it's like working as a DP with other creatives with a short time schedule for a film competition that was due in 2 weeks. So during our pre-production meeting, we read through the script, we blocked out all the shots we wanted to get, and I used this really cool app called CAD Range. And this app essentially allows you to put in your camera information and the lenses you're gonna use, and then you could take photos or videos depending on what the shots are and save the blocking for when you actually come shoot day. So it was really handy because then I could pull up my phone on shoot day and look what we had done during the pre-production and scout day. And the big thing I want to talk about in this video, which kind of relates to working with creatives, is working on the tonality and theme of a film. And in my opinion, it's even harder to do in just 7 minutes. And one of the themes I pitched to them was starting out very light and airy in the first couple shots, which everything is happy, our main characters have a little bit of hopefulness to them. And as we make our way through the film, we switched to kind of a darker shooting style, deeper shadows, a different color grade. And then at the end, we physically get into the basement where everything becomes dark and moody, which is the complete contrast from the beginning of the film where everything's light and happy. And again, it being only 7 minutes, we have to really do the best we can to set up the plot, foreshadow some of the plot points, one of which being the murder weapon, the axe, where in one of the earlier shots, you can actually see the axe in the shot, kind of far off in the distance, but it's there. And then later on, if you notice, it gets put behind the painting, which she, the murderer, takes and then goes to kill him at the very end. And this example is called Chekhov's gun, which is a principle that in a narrative that every element must be necessary to the story. And within our case, one of them is the axe, which you end up seeing being put on the wall at the end, which also kind of ties into all the murder weapons are there for a reason, the VHS tapes are there for a reason, the jars with the teeth and the hair is there for a reason, which also leads me to the prune juice example, which in the very beginning of the film, she asks him if he wants some prune juice and he goes no, but then at the end we find out when we see her in the basement watching the tapes back, she's drinking it, and then we see it's labeled prune juice, but it's really not prune juice, it's actually blood. So there's a whole bunch of different things we did in this film to kind of play with the Chekhov's gun theory and different tonalities within the film, which leads me to why we did the whole film in the first place, and that's the Two Roads Film Contest. Like I said, this film contest is open every year to the public. Anybody of any skill level can enter in it, and it's all horror films. We actually went down to Two Roads to watch the screening of it, and we ended up taking 3rd place, which I got this thing. But it kind of goes to show that even with limited time, not a lot of crew, and working with different people that are really dedicated to making a good film, you can produce anything. So I guess kind of the point of this video is that you don't need a lot of crew, you don't need a lot of time. You can really produce anything if you and the people that you're working with really have the creative passion to do something. So I think that's where I'm gonna leave it, is just go out and shoot something. So whether it's a short film that you want to shoot, a spec that you want to make, or just some short form content that you want to post on social media. Just go out and shoot something and have fun while doing it. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'm gonna try to do more videos like this in the future. And if you haven't checked out the film already, after I've already spoiled like almost the whole thing, go ahead and watch it and let me know what you think about it. Peace.